Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a blessed day. In today's video, I just wanted to show you what I'm working on. If you've been with my channel for any length of time, you know that I've been making a lot of quilt blocks. I thought I would take the quilt blocks and make a prayer journal. I'll show you this one and then I'll take you through the steps of making the next one. First of all, this is just a quilt block, scrappy quilt block, just some strips. For the label, I used, I believe this is rug binding ribbon. Can you see the texture there? And I just cut a piece and I stamped on prayer journal with my Stampin' Up! Letter stamp that I got at a garage sale. And it just has the letters, but you could use any letters that you have. And I just sewed around the label and attached it. For this ribbon, I'm using a rivet. I attached it with a rivet. And the rivets look like this. They are teeny tiny. But you just punch a hole and then use a rivet tool to put it in. And that's just for looks, really. I just liked how that looked. But there's that. For the inside, we have some of my coffee stained cheesecloth that will hold the papers in. I'm using some jean material for the pockets, the side pockets. And in each one I'm including a handy reference list of emergency Bible verses. For example, when in sorrow, read John 14. And that'll go in one pocket. And then for the other pocket, I have Matthew 13, 31 through 32. And it's the mustard seed parable. I sewed onto the cheesecloth at the bottom some rosewood beads. And in this little jar is a little mustard seed. I sewed all the way around with a zigzag to secure the cheesecloth and the pockets. And then I have this onion skin paper that I used distress ink. I have that somewhere. I used some distress ink to ink up those pages. And it is the walnut stain. And I just used this little tool to do that. This paper is old. It is white onion skin paper. It's for an old typewriter. And it looks like that. To get the edges like I got them, I have this Fiskars tool. It's been used quite a bit when I used to do a lot of paper crafting, but it came in handy today. And it has the deckled edges. So that's what I used for that. And then I just used my Bible verse stamps to stamp on each page. And then you can put the papers in. and simply tie it. So you could use any extra quilt block that you have. Let's say you're making a quilt and you had extra. And then this just dangles at the bottom. And then I just have some vintage linen right here for the tie. I'll be working on these quilt blocks. These are some that I made. This one I just quilted all over. And then I have this one. And they all have any kind of backing you want, and then it has batting in the center, so it's pretty sturdy for a cover. The one that I'm working on right now is this one. You may have remembered I did this one in a previous video. It's the state of Ohio. And then the Ohio star pattern on the back. And then for the pocket, it can be any fabric you want. Remember in the last one I used jean material, but you could use whatever you want. This one I put a little bit of stabilizer on the back and some ribbon. And then I did use pinking shears to do the edge there. And I just placed it, pinned it into place. Same way with this pocket. I pinned in my cheesecloth in the center. I just cut and I left some length at the top and the bottom. I do have heat and bond on the back of this label, and it will go right here. And I will sew our little mustard seed and bead cluster to the cheesecloth. But the first thing I'm going to do is take this to the sewing machine and sew with a zigzag all the way around. When I have that done, I'll be back. I'm back from the sewing machine, but I did forget a step, and that was to put the rivet in here. And you kind of just want to see where it's going to go. Get the center of your ribbon. And I took an awl to make the hole for the rivet for my last one. Move that cheesecloth out of the way so I don't poke a hole in that. Just like that. And then we're going to grab the rivet, and you're going to grab the post part. This is the post. There we go. And then poke it in the hole. It's in the ribbon. Poke it in the hole of your fabric. And then I have a rivet tool. Looks like this. Place that underneath. Flip it over. And the rivet should have came through the fabric. You'll put a cap on it. And this is the cap. When you put that on there, you will hear it snap. Then you'll take this tool that comes with the rivet set. You'll take your little hammer or big one, whichever one you have, and just pound it on there. And that is secure. Remove that part, and it is secure. So if you happen to put on your cheesecloth or whatever you're using in the center, it's okay. It still worked out. So that is good, and that's on there. And the next thing I want to do is go ahead and iron on my journal label. I'll go ahead and remove the paper from the back. And go ahead and iron that, and I'll be right back. We've got our little tag on there. And again, that was just put on. I did sew around, and then I added Heat and Bond. I believe it's Heat and Bond Light to the back. So that is secure. Next, we want to sew on our beads and mustard seed, and this is just hemp cord, nothing fancy. Use whatever you have. And then you want a needle that has a wide opening so that you can get that in there, and then you'll want to bend this so that it will go through the cheesecloth. And then I just went in and out and in and out. And then it takes a little bit to get it to go through. But it does go through. And then place it where you want. And then I'm going to go through about 3 times. And this is such a great project for using up any scraps you have. You could make up some quilt blocks. And then what I did is I did add a little bit of fabric fusion to the end before I pull it out. And then I'll just snip that. If you wanted, you could take your papers and stamp those. Just like that. I didn't do every page because this onion skin paper is so thin. And now these 3 remain: faith, hope, and love. 1 Corinthians 13:13. All right, so our papers are done. But I think this will be the cutest gift for somebody. And you could add buttons and all kinds of embellishments to this. And then the papers just slide in like this. And then close that up. And I think after I tie the bow, we'll see how much we have left over. And do a little snipping. And there we go. And look how cute that is. Like I said, you could add buttons. And your papers are in here. And, oh, we forgot to add our little handy reference list of emergency Bible verses. So that will go there. And again, you could put whatever you wanted in the pockets. And Matthew 13:31 through 32. That will be tucked in there. Now it is complete. And we'll tie that back up. And there's these two. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate each and every one of you. It means a lot that you took the time to watch, that you take the time to watch my content. I am so thankful for all of you. And until the next video, God bless.